Hey guys, how's it going? This is Tim, bringing you guys Daily Deals with Tim, where I talk about the latest news and deals on cryptocurrency, all for you guys. And before I begin, this is my personal opinion and not financial advice. Now today, it's going to be about my thoughts on Lisk. And I have done some research on Lisk. I see good potential in the team, and I see a lot of positive things that are coming up. But I do have just one part of Lisk that I'm kind of concerned with. I want to talk about that later in the video. But first of all, let's take a look at some good news that have come from the Lisk team. Now, the Lisk team is growing again. So they have 4 new people: Human Resources Manager Andreas, Backend Developer Mikkel, Community Manager Matt, and Motion Designer Julian. I don't know what Motion Designer is though. I'm gonna have to look into that. But anyways, their team is pretty huge. I think they're probably up to like 40 or 50 now, and even growing more and more. So they have a solid team. They have funding for the project coming from the Lisk Foundation, and I have no doubt that they're going to keep funding this project on and on. And another news, bam, the first decentralized app that is being planned for Lisk. It's called Moracle, and it's basically an oracle for Lisk. But what is an oracle? So it talks about what blockchain code cannot do, and blockchain code cannot generate random numbers, or access information from web, or use web APIs, or communicate with other blockchains. And to do this, so Moracle aims to solve these problems by offering inexpensive, decentralized, and fast Oracle service. It's going to be built on Lisk blockchain application platform, and it will allow for connected and dynamic decentralized apps. So it's going to basically be like the connecting protocol for, I guess, Lisk application and other application as well. And it's going to be built with the Lisk SDK, and going to use access web APIs and information such as exchange rates, generate random numbers, interact with fiat system, and query other blockchains as well. So this is going to be like the connecting bridge kind of through using of the Oracle application. So I was really excited for this first decentralized app. I mean, the Lisk itself it's supposed to be a platform for application. I was just wondering, where are the applications? And finally, we have a glimpse of what is to come. So I'm really excited for this. I just hope there's going to be a lot more news coming up. At least the idea of what kind of application are going to be built on Lisk. I like to see more of those. Now, so those are some good news for Lisk. And that one part that I'm concerned about Lisk is the DPoS system, the delegated proof of stake system. Now, why am I concerned with that? Well, if you own a lot of Lisk, maybe in the thousands or 10,000s, you're probably okay with the current delegated proof of stake system, because you could probably vote the top 101 delegates, and you'll get decent profit per, I don't know, maybe per week, whenever they pay out. But I'm just speaking on behalf of, I guess, small Lisk holders, because I don't hold a lot of Lisk. It is part of my portfolio, but it's not crazy amounts. I didn't invest when Lisk first came out. I didn't invest when Lisk was like 2 cents or 50 cents. No, I invested Lisk later on, so I don't hold a lot of Lisk. And for small Lisk holders to kind of join in the delegated proof of stake system in voting for the delegates and receiving part of the reward, that's basically non-existent right now. And it might be just on my part. It might be just simply my opinion. Maybe I'm being greedy. I don't know. But currently, the DPoS system it benefits large Lisk holders, and for the small Lisk holders, there's barely any benefits. I would say almost nothing. And I just don't like how that is structured, especially with the elite Lisk or Lisk Elite Group, which they hold 55 of the 101 delegate spots. That's more than the majority. It's held by those the elites, and they share around 25% for each, and you have to pay for them to share reward with you. And they have made some changes in that they're like, okay, so you have to vote for this guy, and then if you don't, then once the Lisk halving occurred, I think they said, okay, we're going to empty out all the Lisk that were pending for you guys, and they were going to start a new one with empty balances. And I don't know if that actually went through, but starting from there on, I unvoted for Elite Lisk and voted for independents and other people who shared more rewards in general. But this is my problem with the delegated proof of stake system. It's only beneficial to large Lisk holders, and especially with small Lisk holders, voting costs 1 Lisk, which is around $8 right now. So every time you change vote, you have to pay $8. And if you don't have a lot of Lisk, you're just basically paying the system and then not doing much with it. And also, some people, they mistakenly register as delegates because it seems like, oh, do I have to be a delegate to earn reward? So they pay the 25 Lisk to register as delegate, only to find out that by doing that, they are basically signing up to be a delegate, but it doesn't have any benefits as a voter. So I have encountered a couple people that have done that and lost 25 Lisk. And just in general, if you are a small Lisk holder, the DPoS system you're better off staying away from the DPoS system. And there's not a lot of kind of benefits to the small Lisk holders. Now, as the Lisk grows and as the system grows, we want to invite and encourage even the small holders to kind of join in the kind of the reward system. But what I'm seeing currently is that if you don't vote for the groups like the Lisk Elite and GDT too, but GDT group, they contribute to the community in that some of them write information, some of them are developers, so they contribute to the Lisk community. So I'm kind of okay with them. I still don't like big groups because they tend to dominate, but they at least contribute to the system. But let's say the Lisk Elite group, a lot of them, they're just holding their top positions and voting for each other. They just move what they forged into another account, their second account, and they vote each other through that second account. And with this 75% that they forge, and sometimes they sell off to Bittrex, I've seen crazy amounts of Lisk being sold by those Lisk elites, up to like 10,000 Lisk at once. And I just, man, I'm just kind of frustrated with the system. So I guess if you're a small Lisk holder, the best thing you can do is just hold on to it. Don't vote, just hold on to it because it's not going to benefit you any. And as a small Lisk holder, I have voted, I changed my votes, I did this, and this, and I lost a lot of Lisk doing that. And the net gain is basically like negative Lisk. So for me, it's kind of frustrating to go through that experience, thinking that I would maybe benefit a little bit from the DPoS system. In actual case, I lost a lot of Lisk doing that. And this is going to be, I think, a more problem in the future as well. But with the dynamic fee system, which would decrease the amount of fee based on your transaction, I don't know if that's going to affect the voting fee though. But that said, with the elite, I guess I have most problem with the elite group. They basically forge majority of the Lisk, and then they vote for each other so that they stay on top. And for small Lisk holders, it doesn't benefit any from them. And with the Lisk they forge, they sell it off to keep the price down. So it's like a cycle that that's very dangerous to the Lisk ecosystem, and I just there's a lot of frustration that is pent in the system. So I might be just ranting on right here, but my thought is that the Lisk team definitely need to rework DPoS system or make some changes to it, because the current DPoS system, I think it is rigged, in my opinion. And it might be just me just saying, as a small Lisk holder, it's not benefiting me anything. But I think a lot of Lisk holders are small Lisk holders. Not everyone is going to have thousands and thousands of Lisk, 10,000s of Lisk. No, a lot of people have maybe a couple of Lisk, maybe a couple hundreds of Lisk. And as a community, we need to kind of distribute the rewards and benefits to everyone. But just the elites getting all the rewards and selling it off, keeping the price down, and as kind of small Lisk holders, we don't enjoy the benefits of anything. So my take on this Lisk situation is that I'm going to reconsider my position on Lisk. Now, if you have followed me in this channel, if you liked what I do or what I put out about Lisk, I put out a lot of positive news about Lisk, and I even made a video about why I am hodling Lisk. Lisk is going to be a long-term project that I'm going to just stay with. But the more I look into the situation, the more I look into the Lisk group, and the more I look into the DPoS system, I just see that's going to hurt the Lisk community and the team in the long run. And if they don't change it somehow or rework it, perhaps through the relaunch, they change the system a bit or something like that, I really don't see. There's a cap that won't let them go through. And I might be mistaken. I might be just dreaming about this, but that is my stance on it, and I'm gonna stick through it. So I'm going to reconsider my position on Lisk, but I'm going to hold Lisk at least for a year. So from now on until the beginning of 2019, I'm going to hold on to my Lisk and see if there are improvements that are coming in its way, and if it's implemented, especially with the relaunch coming up and SDK being released, I believe around this month here, around December, kind of available for some people. There's going to be a lot of change to Lisk. Hopefully a lot of good improvements, but 2018 is going to be a big year for Lisk. I could sense it. The news they put out, the expectation they set, it's a lot. But if they can go through it, and in the process, if they can rework the DPoS system to at least give small benefits to the small Lisk holders, instead of just keeping the elites on top. And it's kind of ironic how the elites kind of dominate the top. And it's kind of like that hierarchical system. I feel like it might be just my imagination, but yeah. So to sum it up, I'm gonna hold Lisk for a year until the beginning of 2019. And if nothing has changed, then I'm going to reconsider my position, maybe sell at a profit. But if I am satisfied with the system and I think it'll continue on, I'm going to hodl onto my Lisk. But that said, wait, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I guess that is my general overview of Lisk. Yeah, so I don't know. What do you guys think about it? I mean, if you guys are holding a lot of Lisk and voted for Elite, getting that kind of steady leftover Lisk from the elites, it might be okay, but I'm pretty much getting nothing from the voting system. So I guess it might be just my greed, but I want a rework in the system, and that is what I'm sticking with. But I just remembered. But I still see a lot of positive work from the team. I mean, the team is enormous, and they have a lot of different partnerships with different marketing companies, and especially with the rebranding as well. So they have a lot of things going for them, but if they can fix the DPoS system, I would be so happy. So that is, yeah, my opinion on it. Sorry for making this so long, but if you guys like this kind of content, like this video, comment below on what you think, and smash that subscribe button. Also, if you guys want to support the channel, check out the links below, and I'll really appreciate that. And as always, I'll bring you guys more deals on Daily Deals with Tim.